What's up guys? So in this week's episode of Basic Builds, we're building this table saw sled for your dado stacks. So let's get into the build. So in today's project, it's gonna be really basic. It's gonna help you guys out on the table saw. So pretty much when you guys do have a table saw, it comes with a regular miter gauge like this one. And you can do your cross cuts and your angles and everything, but they're not really that good. So what you can do is build a cross cut sled, which I have a regular one right here, which is pretty, it's built like crazy. I went way overboard on it. It's got T-slots in it, so you put your tape measure on it, put a stop block, and this is for a single blade. I'm gonna be building a dado crosscut sled today. You can still make a single crosscut sled like this one, but mine's gonna be really basic today. I'm gonna be using scrap around the shop to build it. So let's start it right now. I did find a piece of plywood in the shop, which is hilarious because the holes that are drilled out in here match up with the rails, and I was gonna use this for a crosscut sled before and I never did use it, and I actually found it a year later, which is funny because I threw away a ton of stuff in here. But right now I'm going to get the dimensions of the inside of the rails so I can cut those on the table. So I'm going to take my dado stack out, put my regular blade in, and rip strips. I think mine are 3/4, so 3/4 rips, and I'll be screwing them down to this piece of plywood, making sure that the plywood is square with my blade. And also when I do screw on the fence where my stock is going onto the crosscut, make sure that that is square with your blade also. Okay, so I'm making the rails out of pine. I know you guys are triggered that I'm making them out of pine, but this is a temporary crosscut sled. You definitely make them out of oak or a harder wood if you're gonna use it for a very long time. But for right now, I'm gonna be making this because I'm working on a project. I just need it right away. So the only thing in the shop right now is just regular scrap pine. So if you guys wanna make it, go ahead and use pine. Okay guys, so the cleats are cut, ready to go into the saw. These are 3/8 thick by 3/4. I don't know what size your table saw is, but that's what mine is. I'm gonna slide these in like so. And then I'm gonna take my top piece, and I have all the holes drilled out. I'm gonna square this off and screw this top down to those cleats using number 10 3/4 inch screws. So that's the next step, so here we go. The sled's moving, it's ready to go, so I'm gonna start working on the fence. So the fence is going right here, like so. This is not the fence, this is just a scrap piece that I found. But it's gonna be pine. I know, sorry. But this is gonna be screwed down, make sure it is square to your blade. Because if it's not, if it's like this, that's not good. So make sure it's square. I'm gonna be countersinking and screwing this down. And I'm also gonna be putting a backer piece in the back so that when I do cut the dado in the board, the sled doesn't fall apart, because if I cut it right now and it's in two pieces, and it's kind of a pain to square it up. So screw this down and let's go. Instead of using pine, I'm going to use this scrap piece of rock maple I found. and I'm going to be placing it here and squaring the blade to the fence, making some marks with a pencil. I don't know where my pencil went, but then I'm going to be countersinking holes and screwing this down, and then I'll be just adding a backer piece so that the fence doesn't, or the sled doesn't fall apart. So let's go. Alright guys, the fence is on, it's square with the blade. I went over in my scrap pile, I found a piece of poplar, and I'm going to be using this as the backer piece so that the sled doesn't fold into itself. So make sure it's strong. I'm going to be screwing it on right now. The backer piece is on, and I put the dado stack in, so I'm going to be raising that whole dado stack 3/4 through the surface of this sled and just run it right through. So here we go. So I finished up cutting this through with the dado stacks. Turned out really nice. It's 3/4 inch groove right now. Fence is square, so I'm happy about that. So if you guys like these types of builds, stay tuned to our channel. Like this video and subscribe. So I'll see you in the next one. No. It's going on. No. That's for... Table saw. So when you guys, I can't speak.
That's awesome.